Hey guys, Patrick here. On today's video, we're going to be talking about 8 common mistakes that tinters come across in the industry. We're going to be talking about the mistakes and how to avoid them, all coming up. Hey everyone, and welcome to Window Tinting Business. On this channel, we talk about the ins and outs of the industry. We do product reviews and how-tos. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'll show you how easy it is at the very end. But before that, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, first on our list, let's talk about razor blades. It's very important that when you're using an Olfa knife, make sure to retract the blade after using it. We want to avoid cutting yourself or putting it back in your pouch and going to dig for it later and ending up cutting yourself. These are going to happen, unfortunately, but you want to always keep that mindful. And when you're talking about 1-inch razors with maybe a holder, I always keep them in. And if I'm not using it, but I'm going to use it on a different window, then what I'll do is I'll put it on top of the vehicle and I don't leave it inside. You never want to leave a blade inside because if you forget it, worst case scenario, a client could get in and cut themselves and now you have liability issues. So number 1, always put your blades away when not in use. All right, second on our list is car keys. Make sure that you always receive the car keys, you always know where they are, and always hand them back to the client. Whether you're a mobile outfit or you have a brick and mortar shop, it's very important. I've seen people or clients say that they're going to go just step right outside and shop owners or shop workers forget to grab the keys and they can't either A, they can't work on the car, or they can work on the car but then they can't move it afterwards. So always grab the car keys. Number 2, always keep the car keys mindful and where you're placing them. I personally always keep them on top of the windshield wipers on the outside of the vehicle. That way I know where they are and you can avoid locking them in. Now, if you're going to have to start the car, whether it's a turnkey or a fob that you're going to have to start it, at that point, just make sure and keep mindful about where those keys are. And third part of this is always hand them back to the client. I've had cars where I signed out a client and I let them go only to forget that the key was on top of the windshield or on top of the car and I didn't physically hand them to the client. The problem is that they drive away and the key disappears. And whose fault is that? No one but your own. I did this one time and it cost me $300 to get a keysmith to bring all of his equipment here, rekey or refob the car, and then give the client brand new keys. And I ended up losing on that day. So keys are very important. Always get them from the client, always know where they are, and always give them back. That's number 2. And third on our list is going to be windows and doors. It's always important to leave at least one window down or one door open when the keys are inside. If you're working on the windows and you have to keep the key inside to be able to manually work the windows, it's important that before you close the last door, you see where the keys are. If they're inside, you grab them, or you always leave one window open. And if you can do this, you can avoid from locking the keys in the car, because we've all been there and it's a pain to get them out, and you can avoid maybe some possible damage to the body trying to break into the car to get the keys, and it doesn't look very professional. So always avoid from locking the keys in the car by keeping one door open or one window open. All right, number 4 on our list is going to be baby seats. Sometimes you have to remove child car seats from the back if you're going to be installing the back window. And when I put them back in, I do not install them back. I put them in and I specifically put them upside down. And when I check out the client, I let them know that I do not put car seats back in. I do make the parents put them back in to avoid any liability if you did not put them in correctly, or if, God forbid, some sort of accident happens and catastrophe could happen. So that's a major one that you want to avoid. Always put the car seat back in, upside down, let the client know that you need to put them back in yourself. Moving along to number 5, once you exit a vehicle, whether you're putting in a sun strip or installing the back window, always double check your tool pouch. I find this most common when I'm installing back windows and the sun strips, that when I'm sitting down, I sometimes have the tendency of tools falling out of my pouch. Whether it's an Olfa knife, a blade, or maybe even a squeegee, I always want to double check my inventory. That way, you know, that I'm not wasting money by having to buy more tools in the future because of those lost tools, or worse, that I lose a blade and now I have a blade somewhere in a car. So always double check your tools once exiting the vehicle. And number 6 is always give your opinion, but don't make the choice. Whether you install film that's darker than the legal limit or someone has other questions about window film, always give your opinion, let them know what the legal limit is and what the ramifications are for maybe possibly installing illegal film. But you always give them the choice, never make the choice. The problem is if you do make the choice for them and they hate it, they're gonna say, hey, you're the one that suggested it, I don't like it, so let's redo it. And that's an outcome that you definitely don't want because you have lost time and lost material. So always give your opinion, but never make the choice. Number 7 would be properly documenting the vehicle with the year, make, model, VIN number, and the client's name, okay? Most of the time, my warranties are non-transferable. So if they sell the car, the warranty does not go to the new car holder. Plus, you always want to keep a proper documentation just in case there's any warranty questions or any other questions in the future. So always document your cars properly. Last on our list is number 8, and that's going to be make sure that the client signs off on some sort of work order before any work is done, and also sign some sort of liability paperwork relinquishing either you, your employees, or the shop from any possible damage, theft, and other things that may occur while working on the vehicle. If you can get these 2 things, then that's definitely going to save you in the long run. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you can avoid these common mistakes, then you can definitely reduce your stress and possibly save you some money in the long run as well. If you did like this video and you did find it helpful, please like it, share, and don't forget you can subscribe by just hitting this button right here. And if you want to check out other content or videos that I've made, go ahead and click right here. But until next week, thanks again for coming by, and we'll see you soon.